So we've done it again, boys. It's the main event of the evening. The God of War, Deiveson Figueiredo, going up against the assassin baby, Brandon Moreno. Let's see here. Is it Guru kicking us off here? Cody Safdie. Cody.
This is one of the reasons why I love doing the Friday show with you guys, is that you get to see the weigh-ins, you get to take as much information. Sometimes you miss a few lines here and there, but at least you try to gather as much information as you can prior to actually seeing the fight itself. But Deiveson Figueiredo, honestly, he's a big 125er, and how's this guy going to continuously make weight, fight between fight, and is he going to struggle in these later rounds if you can push a tempo on him? But like him weighing in so early and him looking dazed. It's like this guy was in really good shape for the Perez fight, obviously. He's supposed to fight Cody Garbrandt. Biggest payday of his life. Great spot. This is going to put him on the map. That fight doesn't happen, but he's still in really good shape. Takes Perez and mauls Perez. Now, still in really good shape. He gets Brandon Moreno. Again, the fact that he made weight, the fact that he looks solid. I'm a parlay guy. I make all types of bets, but as far as like people, what they want to see on Twitter is that I'll send out some parlays. And as I mentioned to Paul earlier in the week, Figueiredo is one of those guys that you could put him on all these parlays, knowing that at the end of the night, you could take that hedge out on Brandon Moreno. He's a big enough underdog that you could hedge out, right? But with Figueiredo, it's like he's got the power. He's one of the best strikers in the division. If he hits you, he's going to knock you out. The grappling looks pretty solid. He's obviously got a good guillotine choke amongst other things, but it's just like that big physicality. As far as taking him down, yeah, he's been taken down, but he's very strong. He's very physical. Gas Tank, yeah, we talk about Gas Tank. He's had looked tired in some of his other fights. When he's icing fools in the first or second round, like Joseph Benavidez and Alex Perez, you don't get to see it. But, like, there are holes to this guy's game. Like, you can stretch him. You can make him work. He does have relatively low output. Mind you, when you have that much power, you know you just got to land a few punches. And in his case, he can land those punches. Moreno's a guy that is there to get hit. It always seems like he's bloody in the lip. I don't know what it is. Like, all of his fights, he could win it easy. He always just seems like he gets tagged and he wears some of that damage. Against Figueiredo, it's a bad spot. You would really, if you were banking on Moreno, and I thought he was a live underdog, because I thought, you know what, push the pace. This kid's going to come in good shape. It's obviously a career highlight moment for him. He can win a UFC title and achieve his dream of being the first Mexican-born UFC champion. Like, there's all this shit on the line for him. He used to train at altitude in Denver, moved his camp over to Mexico City, training at altitude again. You know, seemingly in a good spot. Looked good his last time out, despite the fact that it was a kind of an early end to the night, but took no real damage. Like, there's a lot to like there. But the narrative of Brandon Moreno winning, how does he win? He's got to win the scrambles. He's got to win the wrestling exchanges. He needs to take this guy down, wear on him. But seeing Figueiredo in such good shape, like, I'm starting to backtrack myself into thinking, you know what? What if he doesn't wear down? What if you don't take him down, which is entirely possible? What if you do take him down and he gets back up? You're going to keep taking him down? Like, can Moreno just chain wrestle him for 25 minutes? Probably not. Can Moreno strike with him for 25 minutes? Like, probably not. But the key for Moreno is that he's never been finished, right? He got subbed one time in The Ultimate Fighter way back when he was just a kid. Still to this day, really, he's just a kid. He's always getting better. He's always making improvements. He always shows a better version of himself. He's never been knocked out professionally. He's never been submitted professionally. I like the over 1.5 rounds. If, you know, back class eventually comes through for Figueiredo when he catches his kid, or he busts him up, or he gets him in trouble, and you really see a skill discrepancy in there, I would expect it to happen in the latter half of the second round into the third round. But that 1.5 I thought was an okay enough price tag. I think it was like minus 170. And yeah, ultimately, I guess I would still consider Brandon Moreno a live dog, and I still think he can win this fight. But with Figueiredo, it's like, yeah, seeing him in good shape, seeing the skill set, like, what does he do particularly wrong? Is it just that he fades? Do we all believe he fades? Is that a real thing? God, I don't know. So I think the pick is going to be, for me personally, Figueiredo. I got the over 1.5, I think, is the best play in this fight personally. And I know some people are saying Figueiredo inside the distance or Figueiredo by knockout. Some people are fishing that submission prop again. Like, I'm thinking it's getting overs. Certainly the over 1.5. That's the one I feel the most comfortable with. Maybe 2.5. Maybe not as comfortable with that. But Figueiredo over 1.5. That's how I'm leaning with this main event.
I like it. Guru, who you got?
Yeah, this is a good fight to me. I mean, you got to give credit right away to both these guys turning around 3 weeks, giving us a main event, man. I think this is the fastest turnaround for a champion to defend his belt in UFC history. So, you know, shout out to Deiveson for that. But, I mean, I feel like when I first looked at this matchup on paper, I did think that Moreno potentially had like a good chance to win. But once I just started looking more into it, watching a few fights, I actually think that Deiveson should win pretty handily here, because Moreno, I mean, I've noticed like in fights recently, he's actually become more of like not a counter striker, but he doesn't go first as much as he used to. Because if you watch his fight like with Pantoja and Sergio Pettis, he's opening up with like a lot of like real sloppy attacks going first, and they're just pot shotting him, like jabbing him up, landing straights, and he's gotten better at setting up his attacks, but he's still like real hittable. He's still willing to sit in the pocket and trade with people, and I just feel like that right crossman from Deiveson is just going to land clean, and I just don't know if he's going to be able to take that, man. I haven't seen anyone that Deiveson lands that on be able to eat it and keep going. So I just feel like I do think maybe the over 1.5 is probably going to hit as well, because like I said, I do think Moreno early on, he's going to like pressure, I think, and try to throw leg kicks, but I don't think he's going to open up like a lot. I don't think he's going to really try to like trade with him or anything like that. Or I don't even know if he'll even try to hit takedowns, because I just don't know. I feel like he's going to try to like slow play it early on and then try to get into the fight, try to see if Deiveson slows down a little bit. But I don't think he's going to slow down. I feel like he looked good at the weigh-ins today. I watched it. He went 3 rounds pretty hard with Pantoja. He broke him in that 3rd round. He won the 3rd round against Jussier Formiga in their fight pretty easily. So I feel like it's maybe a little bit of a misconception with the cardio. So I did feel like he was getting tired against Benavidez, but he missed weight for that fight. So it could have been something else. He looks like he's gotten that under control. So I think Figueiredo probably will win inside the distance, but I think it will be later on, maybe like 3rd, 4th, 5th round.
I like it. Lock of the night. Take us home, my man.
Yeah, so I was one of the poor souls that went out there and tried to fade Figgy last time around by taking Alex Perez at that plus 255 line. I truly thought it was going to be the wrestling that kind of made the difference there, with Perez being able to get the fight to the ground. And yeah, he went for a takedown, but he just forgot to protect his neck, and we see Figgy take that neck home with him. And now I'm seeing a huge amount of narrative out there that people are saying that if you backed Alex Moreno, or Alex Perez, you should go out there and back Brandon Moreno. I don't get it, though, because what I was leaning on Perez for was the takedowns, and he has a pretty good wrestling background. You can't say the same about Brandon Moreno here. I mean, I think it's completely different. What Moreno does bring to the table, though, is solid, decent striking or improved striking from what we've seen in the past, but he is hittable, and both of these guys brought it up. That's a big red flag for me. I mean, like, he's getting touched up a little bit by Brandon Royval at the beginning of the fight, and again, like we touched on with Royval earlier, not really the best technical striker, but creates chaos, which allows him to open up his opportunities to snatch victory. But with Deiveson, that guy probably just needs 1 or 2. And, I saw somebody in the comment section calling him the flyweight Francis. The statistics back it up. I saw somebody drop it. He has like a crazy knockdown percentage. It's insane. Maybe most of it is from that Joseph Benavidez fight, because poor Joseph Benavidez got sent to hell and back in that fight. But I think Deiveson is the real deal at this point, man. My days of fading him are long gone. My concern here, though, is if he doesn't land that bomb and this fight does get stretched out, and I'm not trying to harp on the cardio here, one thing you can say about Moreno is he has solid output. He has solid volume. If this fight does somehow reach it to the judges' scorecards, I wouldn't be shocked to see them kind of score Moreno's volume over Deiveson's power punches. But then again, if Deiveson rocks him or drops him in those rounds and starts banking rounds that way, that's another way that you can go about this fight. But personally, I'm staying away from it. I do like Deiveson. I do think he gets it done. I do think he touches the chin of Moreno. I think we'll see Moreno get finished for the first time officially. We had the loss to Pantoja on the Ultimate Fighter. But I like Figgy, man. Yeah, I like Figgy here. But not the most confident. Minus 300, it's a decent... It's a crazy price tag. The end of distance is probably what you want to look for. I do think it's going to happen much later than the Perez one. The Perez one was just, poor Perez, just leaving his neck out there. Not the best thing to do, especially after you see it every time on tape. Anytime somebody tries to take Figgy down, he is totally cool with, jumping guillotine. He is totally fine with that. And he's pretty damn near close to like getting it on some of these guys. Ask Tim Elliott. You know what I mean? That was a very bad guillotine that he latched on him, and then Alex Perez falls victim to that too. So I like Deiveson here. I do think he touches up Moreno. I don't like the striking defense from Moreno. That's kind of the big red flag for me here. And if Figueiredo just needs 1, I'm gonna count on it that he lands one of those. So I'm going with Figueiredo, probably 2nd or 3rd round here.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, man. I'm all in on the God of War. I'm going to be riding this train until it derails, I think. I just don't see anybody being able to deal with this guy's touch of death. You know, he gets in there eventually. I mean, you're going to have to survive 25 minutes without this guy landing that shot, and I just don't see anybody being able to do it really at this point. I'm sure somebody will come along. You know, Figueiredo's 32, almost 33. There doesn't have a tremendous amount of time when we look at, you know, when these guys age out at the flyweight division. But for my money, man, the God of War, I don't know who's going to step up and take him out. I honestly hope he cleans out the flyweight division. We maybe start seeing him take on some bantamweights. I'm all in on him. He's going to be a parlay piece for me, absolutely. Brandon Moreno, what's his path to victory? I guess maybe he can avoid that danger, avoid that guillotine, which I do think is probably the nastiest guillotine in the game at this point. Maybe do Bronx is a little more dangerous, but both guys, my goodness, you give them one chance, they're snatching that thing up. I think you guys are on something. I do like the over 1.5. I don't think this fight's going to play out quite as quick as our last one, but I do think if Deiveson wins, it will be inside the distance. And Locke, thank you for bringing it up. I see a lot of people talking about Moreno's never been finished. You're right. Officially, he's never been finished, but Ultimate Fighter, Pantoja did get him out of there. If Pantoja can do it, I'm telling you guys, Figueiredo can do it too. So